It's shocking to me. It is shocking. But the Indiana Fever have made a job posting.
If you thought the Fever's biggest storyline was just rookie meets veteran, think again. What just came out in a recent conversation has fans replaying every possession from last season because the subtext wasn't subtle. A star guard laid out how the locker room had to recalibrate on the fly. And when you unpack what that really means, you start to see the tension lines running through the entire organization. By the end of this video, you'll know why some people think Indiana is sitting on a time bomb and what has to happen before it blows up or turns into a dynasty. Let's start with the moment that lit the fuse. The guard described an adjustment period, and not just for players. She said it like the whole building, from coaches to trainers to front office, had to figure out roles after the franchise landed the most talked about newcomer in years. That's not a tiny tweak, that's a reset. You don't use corporate phrasing like roles needed to be situated unless folks were scrambling midstream. Fans heard that and thought, wait, 5 months of knowing the pick was coming and you're still improvising? That's the kind of admission that gets people asking, who was steering the ship? Now, a lot of people took her tone as supportive, but listen between the lines. She praised the rookie for not trying to be bigger than the program. Sounds respectful, right? Except when you're dealing with a generational engine, bigger than the program is kind of the point. It's not arrogance, it's accountability. The greats grab the wheel and say, we're going that way. Jordan did it, Kobe did it, LeBron did it. Refusing to assert doesn't always read as humility. Sometimes it reads as uncertainty. And that's exactly where the conversation started to feel complicated.
So, as you guys can see here, Kayla Clark and the entire WNBA is headed back to Chicago. Now, I can't wait to hear it, man. I can't wait to hear about this. I don't know, man. A lot of people is going to be talking about it.
Before anyone twists this, here's the nuance. The rookie didn't walk in with a me-first vibe. She came in professional, ready to blend, eager to build chemistry, focused on doing her job. That's admirable, especially in a league where veteran respect matters. But here's the paradox. The team needed her to be both teammate and engine, two roles that don't always coexist on day one. When the guard kept emphasizing how the rookie fit the program, fans heard more than praise. They heard a subtle nudge, be a little louder, stand a little taller, take a little more. This is where the psychology gets spicy. Calling it a program suggests there's a sacred system that must be preserved. But let's be real, Indiana wasn't exactly a juggernaut before all this. They'd struggled to break through, and fans weren't buying season tickets for the program. They were buying to see the rookie. That's not disrespect, that's market reality. So when a veteran stresses that the new arrival respected the system, many viewers heard something else. Please don't disrupt our hierarchy. Not malicious, not petty, just human. But here's the twist that keeps this from being a simple personality clash. Post-Olympic stretch, when the two guards finally found a groove, it looked like fireworks.
From this organization, they do not care to protect her. They are not honest. They don't have her best interest. And you got Scammy, now Scott the Scammer, Agnes, reporting bull crap like this. It's nasty. Caitlin Clark, you need to get the hell away from the Indiana Fever. This is Keep the Vision.
Pace went up, scoring surged, the offense breathed, and suddenly every possession felt dangerous. That wasn't an accident. That was the rookie stepping into a quarterback role and the veteran torching defenses next to her. It proved the fit can sing when the structure allows it. The question is why it took so long, and whether the team is willing to lock that version in from Game 1 next year. A lot of fans point to strategy. The head coach has been interpreted, fairly or not, as leaning into the veteran's comfort zone. Some observers say that meant more mid-range isolations, fewer actions tailored to the rookie's deep-range gravity, and a slower embrace of those spread-floor, quick decision sets she thrives in. To be clear, no one's saying the coach doesn't value the rookie. The results down the stretch show otherwise. But perception matters. When a coach appears to plant a flag beside one player's rhythm, the other star is put in a bind. Assert and risk rocking the boat, or defer and get labeled passive. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. That bind showed up in the language around leadership. The veteran described the rookie like a little sister, playful, competitive, talk hoops all day energy. Endearing, sure, but hierarchy is baked into that metaphor. Big sister sets the tone, little sister follows. That's fine when experience and talent align. Here, the rookie is not just the future, she's the present. She's the attention magnet, the pace setter, the advantage generator. If you ask her to be the fourth or fifth decision maker in a scripted system, you're basically parking a sports car in first gear and wondering why the highway feels slow.
Impacting your team, impacting our culture, and these two have led the way with that. And then you put it together and you've got the point guard in the center. Are you kidding me? Like, you've got the bookends that you want to build around, and these two are the best. And I think that there's so many things that they do well right now.
Let's address the elephant in the room, the word soft. No one used it outright, but many fans felt that was the implication when the veteran praised the rookie for not trying to be bigger than the team. That's a loaded inference, and we should be careful. What's more likely is that the rookie played the long game. Earn trust, learn the system, show you can blend, then level up. The problem is that public patience rarely matches private timelines. When the cameras show the rookie off the ball or deferring late, social media churns. People conflate temperament with timid, but the rookie didn't get here by being timid. So, what's actually broken? On a pure basketball level, it's role clarity and sequence. The rookie's gravity should be the first domino. Let her initiate, bend the defense with high screens or deep pull-up threat, and then unleash the veteran scoring as the second punch. When that order flips, when the veteran is asked to create from a standstill and the rookie is the release valve, the offense flattens. That's not about ego, it's about leverage. You start with your best advantage. Everything else flows. There's also the respect piece. Not respect isn't being nice.
Achievement. We've attended multiple games here at Carver, flown all around the country to watch you play. The one thing that has impacted me the most is your impact. I mean, look at this place. Look how many people are here. It's incredible. And on top of that, you've continued to be yourself and inspire millions of people for not only how you play the game, but for who you are. Never change, but keep changing women's sports. Congratulations.
Kate and Clark, thank you for teaching me to love myself and always.
But respect isn't allocate possessions and structure like you understand who moves the needle. Some viewers believe the organization didn't fully signal that from day one. Rumors suggest there were mixed messages. Celebrate the rookie publicly, but preserve the old pecking order privately. If that's even partly true, it creates an impossible cultural equation. The locker room hears both, and nobody knows which message wins. To be fair, the veteran deserves her flowers. She's a bucket, a worker, and a tone setter in her own right. When she's locked in, especially after the break, she gives you 20 plus on efficient nights and draws the toughest backcourt assignment. None of this is about tearing her down. It's about aligning strengths. Put her next to an initiator who lives to spoon-feed advantages, and you get the best version of both. Ask her to be the heliocentric engine every night, and the system tightens, the spacing closes, and the rookie's superpowers get muted. Now let's talk pathways, because this season isn't going to wait. Path 1, status quo with minor tweaks. Stay the course, hope chemistry deepens, and trust that another off-season in the lab will smooth the rough edges. It might work, continuity matters, and you could see a few more wins just from familiarity. But hope is not a game plan, and the league is too good to bank on vibes alone. Path 2, conscious re-architecture. Come into camp with a public, unambiguous identity. The rookie is the primary. Build the opening script around her reads. Spam actions that exploit her range and vision, and make sure the veteran's first touches are advantage touches, not rescue dribbles with 8 on the clock. This isn't about crowns, it's about math. The offense breathes when decisions happen early and the ball finds the finisher in rhythm. Do that for a month, and suddenly the fit discourse quiets itself. Path 3, the nuclear option almost nobody wants to say out loud. If the culture can't absorb a clear identity, the rookie could eventually ask for a different runway. To be crystal clear, that's not a prediction, just the end of a logical decision tree if alignment never arrives. But it's why urgency matters. When a once-in-a-decade magnet is in your locker room, you don't wait to see if it gels, you ensure it gels. Where does the coach fit in? Right in the center. She has the power to cut the tension without cutting the locker room. Start games with 2 or 3 set pieces that establish the rookie's control, a high drag into a flare read, a quick horns twist that forces a switch, a ghost screen to trigger rotation. Then flow into your comfort stuff for the veteran, the pin down into curl, the delay action into a catch and go, while the defense is already compromised. If shots don't fall, keep the structure, don't abandon it at the first cold stretch. Identity only sticks when it survives a bad quarter. Leadership messaging matters just as much. Publicly, celebrate sacrifice on both sides. Privately, be brutally clear. Who initiates, who finishes, and how that can flip situationally without becoming a tug of war. The big sister-little sister dynamic can be a strength if it evolves into 2 captains, shared mission. That evolution doesn't happen by accident. It happens because someone in authority says, "Here's the blueprint," and then sticks to it when the timeline gets noisy.
In the training room, just a lot of stuff, is a lot of moving parts. And I think the biggest part that I respected about Kaylin is that she never was bigger than the program. I don't know if that makes sense, but like, it wasn't like she wasn't trying to take over.
Let's circle back to the rookie's personality, because it's easy to misread joy as naivete. She's competitive as hell. She studies the game, and she's not afraid of the moment. What she may be avoiding is the optics of storming in and calling shots. That's understandable. But there's a middle path between playing nice and playing meek. It looks like vocal pace setting, calling for early actions, demanding rescreens, instructing spacing with a point and a shout, and huddling teammates after dead balls with one clear directive. None of that is drama, it's leadership, and it communicates urgency without stepping on anyone's pride. As for the veteran, the best version of her is ruthless within a shared framework. Catch, read, rip. If the rookie draws 2, punish on the second side with 0 hesitation. If teams top blocker on pin downs, slip early and make that a layup drill. If the matchup floods the nail, become the weak side sniper. The more her scoring comes inside flow, the less noise we hear about my turn, your turn. And ironically, the more she'll actually touch the ball, because advantages multiply touches.
There's also a media layer no one can ignore. Social feeds love binaries. She's too passive versus she's selfish. Coach is right versus coach is lost. Veteran is threatened versus veteran is mentoring. Real life is muddier. The interview that sparked this wasn't a hit job. It was honest. And honesty can sound sharp because truth has edges. Fans should appreciate that transparency while remembering we're hearing interpretations in real time, not a courtroom transcript. Rumors suggest some comments were more about culture than criticism. Either way, the takeaway is the same: clarity cures drama. Zooming out, what's at stake isn't just wins, it's momentum. The rookie has brought unprecedented attention. Arenas are packed, road games feel like home games, and highlights hit mainstream timelines nightly. That spotlight is a gift and a pressure cooker. If the Fever lean into it with a plan, they can accelerate the rebuild by years. If they flinch, if they try to make everyone equally comfortable, they'll stall right where they are. Good enough to tease, not sharp enough to scare.
So here's the simplest checklist to change the season on day one. 1. Declare the offensive hierarchy without apology. 2. Script the first 6 plays of every game to feature the rookie's reads. 3. Grade possessions by process, not by result. If the right person gets the right shot, live with the miss. 4. Carve out 2 veteran first packages each half so she can cook within advantage. 5. Close games with a small, trusted menu everyone can run half asleep. That's how teams stop leaking points to confusion. Will there be bumps? Absolutely. Defenses will blitz. Refs will swallow whistles for a quarter. Someone will go 2 for 12 on a Tuesday in January, and Twitter will call for trades by halftime. That's the gig. The goal isn't mistake-free basketball. It's mistake-resilient identity. When your North Star is clear, rookie initiates, veteran detonates, the film session writes itself. The noise outside the room can get as loud as it wants. Inside, it stays quiet. If you're the rookie, the call to action is gentle but firm. Keep the smile, keep the joy, but raise the volume on your voice. If a set dies, don't drift. Demand a rescreen and punish the gap. If a teammate's spacing slips, point to the corner and reset. Huddle the group after a turnover and say, same action, faster pace. Those micro assertions add up. They don't alienate, they anchor.
If you're the veteran, the path is just as clear. Keep the edge, ditch the friction. Treat every early touch as a chance to strike decisively, not to size up the world. Sprint your cuts like you're trying to break a stopwatch. Talk on defense until the rookie never has to glance at the bench to know the coverage. That's how a backcourt becomes a problem people dread on scouting reports. 2 voices, 1 language. And if you're in the big chair, set the table every day. Practice segments that simulate late-game chaos with the rookie calling audibles. Scrimmage rules that reward second-side touches for the veteran. Film edits that spotlight sacrifices no one sees. Screen angles, hockey assists, decoy runs, so the whole roster understands what winning actually looks like. Systems don't hold under stress because of slogans. They hold because everyone knows their job when the room gets hot. Here's the closing truth nobody can outrun. This partnership doesn't need a miracle. It needs a decision. Decide who starts the music. Decide how the melody flows. Decide which solos elevate the song and which riffs get left backstage. When the Fever made those decisions, briefly, gloriously, late last season, the product jumped off the screen. That's not a coincidence. That's a blueprint asking to be followed. So when you hear interviews and think you're catching a straight jab, remember, candor can sound like conflict when stakes are high. The veteran wasn't throwing shade so much as pointing at a crossroads. The rookie wasn't shrinking so much as choosing patience. The coach wasn't ignoring the obvious so much as juggling realities. Now, the juggling has to stop. It's time to juggernaut. Because in this league, windows don't stay open. They creak, they tighten, they slam. Indiana has a chance, right now, to turn noise into narrative
narrative into identity, and identity into wins. Let the rookie architect, let the veteran amplify, and let the system serve the stars, not the other way around. Do that, and the headlines next spring won't be about whispers, roles, or programs. They'll be about a team that finally picked a lane and hit the gas.